How's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again, and yeah, it's another view from the van, but not one I thought I'd be making. I held off from this morning because I was absolutely gutted after yesterday. I really was. I did not see before the game kicked off in any which way how Everton could get anything out of this game whatsoever. I thought the least that Newcastle would get would be a point. But somehow, somewhere, despite Newcastle having 65% possession, double the shots that Everton had, Everton take the spoils after. It was typical. As soon as it held up 14 minutes, I said, the guarantee, this is a typical Newcastle time now to concede a goal, and a goal we did concede. We gifted them the 3 points. I don't think we deserved to lose. I don't think they deserved to win. But I don't think we did enough to justify a victory on the night. And that's a really, really disappointing. It was probably, in fact, it wasn't probably, it was the most disappointing performance of the Eddie Howe regime. It was very old school Newcastle that from earlier on in the season. And you got the feeling that I think some of the players maybe thought, look, the job's done, we're safe, it's done and dusted, we're a Premier League team already. And the message over these next 2 weeks while the players are away in Dubai with warm weather training surely has to be, the job is not done. We need at least another 2 victories, I would say, maybe even 3 victories to rubber stamp it, seal it. But it is not done until it's done. We can't afford to take our foot off the gas at all, or it will bite us in the arse. There's no doubt about it. Look, we've got a lovely lead, still a 9-point lead over the relegation places, and that is a million times better. You know, the run since Christmas has been fantastic. We've played some good football. We've improved on the possession that we keep. We've improved on set pieces, corners, you name it. Across the board, the club is healing. It is getting better. Even fucking Shearer's bars reopened today. The club is moving forward on so many fronts, but it has to make sure it's a Premier League team first and foremost. And gifting 3 points to a team below us, it was a competitor to stay up into the league, is no way to do that. And also the next game coming up is Spurs away. So that's not to give me at any chance at all. But I'm certainly expecting a response, because the team that played against Chelsea, the performance against Chelsea, where I thought we were cruelly denied points in that game, it simply didn't turn up. There was none of that against Everton. And if that team that turned up against Everton turns up against Spurs, it'll be another no points for absolute definite. So we need the same application, dedication, and then we need to improve on quality. I thought Chris Wood last night, look, I don't want to make scapegoats of certain players and stuff, but I think what's happened is, I think the games have caught up. We've had a run of difficult away fixtures coming thick and fast. No opportunity to change certain players, to freshen things up, to keep it competitive and stuff. And you're seeing the results on a couple of areas of the pitch. Emil Kraft as well last night. Again, not my favourite player. I'll support him every time he pulls on the shirt and starts the game. But how Manquillo didn't start, I just don't know. But it was a very much unlike recent performances sort of game, if you will. And you've just got to hope it's a one-off. It's a blip. It's a bump in the road towards Premier League, safety. Because yes, there's a difficult game coming up. The next game is really, really tricky. Spurs away is going to be tricky, but then we've got a couple of games on the run against like Norwich, Palace, and so on. Wolves at St James's Park, that we've got to target these victories that we need to be able to stay up. It is still very much in Newcastle United's hands to be able to get the safety, to get the points, to get the wins on the board, to see us safe. But we cannot go back to last night, and that has to be stressed during this warm weather break. Hopefully it gives a lot of the players an opportunity to rest, to recuperate, to come back into full form. I thought St Maximin was well off his best. He is no doubt our talisman, and he's our best player, but he did not look fit. He did not look in the zone last night. So this trip to Dubai is a perfect opportunity to get him back up to speed. because he is our attacking threat. There's no doubt about it. And we missed attacking threat last night. Like I say, 6 shots, 65% possession, but we didn't do enough to get those 3 crucial points. And gifting it to Everton, just literally in a bow. No Jordan Pickford last night, obviously bottled it. With Pickford in, might he have conceded? Probably. We just don't know. No Van der Beek as well. He's also missed out on the game last night. But that one, it's in the regular books. There's nothing that can be done now. It is frustrating. It is disappointing because even a point, and you're thinking another win, you're virtually there or thereabouts. But that's 2 games now that where it's the results slipped away right at the end, and it does suggest fatigue, tiredness, lack of options, and this is what needs to be addressed. Look, I still think we're going to stay up, totally 100% positive, still behind the lads, Eddie Howe and all the coaching team, but this is what needs addressing. The squad isn't good enough. Let's face it, the squad isn't good enough. The first 11 on paper is really, really good. You've got 1 or 2 other players who can come in and do a job and are good, and then you've got a lot of substandard championship players of yesteryear, players who need to be moved on, and there needs to be some really, really big decisions taken in the summer because we need a squad of players so that if a player gets injured, like a Kieran Trippier, or if there's a lack of form for a Chris Wood or whatever, we've got viable alternatives. A viable alternative is not a Dwight Gale. It's not. He's like I say, he's a Messi in the bloody Championship, but he's just a mess in the Premier League, and it needs sorting this summer. The squad needs such an overhaul. It's unbelievable, but I've no doubt they'll go away. They'll work hard. They'll get the fitness up. They'll work on the issues, and they will come back. And they will attack the Spurs game. They will go for the Spurs game. We will see a reaction, an improvement, and we'll give it our all. And then it takes us into a run of home games where it has to be. That has to be the couple of wins that we need to be able to get this job done and write this fucking season off and move on to happier days, exciting days, and in an exciting future for Newcastle United. And no doubt, all the so-called pundits, ex-players, the people in the know and all this shit, they'll throw the 2 pennies worth in. They'll try and cause shit and stir shit, and they want that drama and the soap opera at Newcastle United. But the fan base will remain united behind these lads and the coaches, looking forward to a summer where things are put right on the playing, the playing squad part of it. No doubt about it. Callum Wilson back in light training as well is another definite positive to look forward to in the upcoming games and stuff. A couple of weeks breaks now, but obviously we're not playing this weekend. We should have been playing Palace through to the later stages, the quarterfinals, I think it is, of the FA Cup. Then we've got a break for England. I won't touch on the England squad, but it's a fucking farce, isn't it? It really is. It's just a gentleman's club at the end of the day. So yeah, international break will come along. We do have some players flying away for international games. The likes of Dubravka, Fabian Schär, Emil Kraft. Emil Kraft is flying away for an international game. Fuck me, how bad must the other right backs be? But yeah, a large chunk of our squad and our team will be in Dubai looking to put things right. And look, last time they went away, they came back, they went on a fantastic run, and Eddie Howe certainly will be hoping for the same again from this trip to Dubai. It's all right for some. There was no invite for anybody else, was there? But, we've got to stay home and graft, and they will fly over and put the hours in on the training pitch, and hopefully, like I said, the players like St. Maximin will rediscover the spark, get the energy back in the legs. There's no doubt that, the run that we've been on, away game after away game after away game, it's difficult. It is difficult to win a game of Premier League football. It's even more difficult winning away from home. But last night, it just seemed as if the legs had gone. We started brightly, we started positively. I was encouraged with the opening. But as the game went on, the warning signs were there for all to see. And we just looked incapable of being able to put up a decent fist of it. Don't get me wrong, I thought Everton were dog shit, but we just run out of legs, and I don't think they deserved it whatsoever. They've still got a lot of difficult fixtures to be able to come up, and he's going to have to get a heck of a lot more out of that squad. And I tell you something as well, I've checked Richarlison's fucking studs whilst you're on, because fuck me, for somebody built like he's built, he went down like an absolute fucking sack of spuds. He was down all the time. He only had to fucking fart near him, and that lad was on the floor rolling about like a right little screaming bitch. It was pathetic. I'll touch on the red card. I can see both sides of it. I really can. It's a soft one, 100% agree. But when you leave the ground, when you've got both feet stood showing, you know the referees are going to send you off 99.9% of the time. Even that fucking absolute piss flap who was refereeing last night, fucking whistle happy. I could have shoved that fucking whistle where the sun didn't shine. But even him, you knew he was going to send it off. As soon as he went over to his little fucking TV to watch fucking CBeebies for a couple of minutes, you knew that was going to be a red card. It lifted the Everton supporters, it lifted the players because they felt injustice, and again that probably carried them over the line and everything. The only other thing, like I touched on at the beginning of the video, 14 minutes stoppage time because somebody looked like fucking Spencer from Phoenix Bastard Knights. Was protesting against oil despite having more fucking oil in his hair than in the North fucking Sea. Tied himself to the post in some sort of protest. I don't get it. I don't want to get into the politics. It's murky and all this sort of thing. But yeah, it took forever and a fucking age. It looked like Graham Taylor. Some people said it looked like Sam Allardyce with his fucking bolt cutters. But how that is allowed to happen, how the stewards didn't stop him getting on the pitch in the first fucking place, I just don't know. It's not the best ground to go to. The stewards aren't the best down there. It's not the best surroundings at all down at Wooders, and hence why they're building the new stadium and stuff. But yeah, a huge delay, and I'm not saying again that cost us, but you knew when it got to stoppage time and you're looking at 14 minutes, you're like, it would be the most Newcastle thing ever to fucking concede right about now. And of course they go ahead and they play the script absolutely perfectly. The ball's given away far too fucking easily, and then bang, there you go, and it's just like sucker punch. 3 shots on target. But look, you hold your hands up. They scored the goal, we didn't. We should have worked them when the red card came and we had a man advantage. We should have been working the ball, stretching the play, tiring them out. But we simply didn't. We simply did not step it up. The second half was an absolute fucking disaster. Nightmare stuff for Newcastle. But I'm just putting it down to legs. The players, to me, ran out of steam last night, ran out of legs. There's been obviously a huge turnaround with regards to training and conditioning and pushing the players since Eddie Howe's come in. And I think it's caught up with them big style. So use these 2 weeks, get the players back, hopefully a few more back fit. The ones who are available, get some freshness into them. They'll need some time off, then some time working, and then let's see. We've got a sprint finish, and it's important that we start this next run of fixtures really, really white hot, really, really fast, get a couple of victories in the bag, and let's have it done. Let's get over that 40-point barrier if we can. If not, at least you've got to be looking at least 2 more victories, I would say, and maybe they're in the odd draw and stuff like that. So we can start thinking about happier and brighter times, because the future for Newcastle is bright. The Evertonians may be having a little bit of a chuckle and stuff like that at the moment, but hey, all of them hundreds of millions of pounds, and and it's absolutely shit. I would still be worrying Major League if I was them, because of what I saw last night, the teams they've got to play, yeah, it is worrying times for Everton still. Newcastle still out of it, but we're definitely still more to fucking do, no doubt about it. Gutted, but the content, the videos, the Facebook posts, the Twitter stuff, Instagram, we're even on TikTok, all that will keep coming over this next couple of weeks break, so keep checking it out. Newcastle scouting place here, there and fucking everywhere at the moment, so we're bringing news about all of that. and news with regards to how the lads are doing out in Dubai and stuff. The jammy bastards. Do they deserve it after the performance yesterday? Probably not, but it's most likely what is needed. Again, while they do some more TLC and improvements up at the training ground whilst the lads are away. So that's me finished. Another hard day at Graft. Big shout out to Mark as well, one of the people who follow the page, who I met today, just doing some, trying to do some stuff for the Ukrainian situation, and he's helped me out Major League on that. So today, Mark, who's following the page, you know you are. Yeah, big up. Thank you for that. And in the meantime, take care, keep it tuned, and I'll speak to you later.